Welcome back to Industry Expert Insight, powered by Council Navy, where knowledge meets experience. In today's episode, we are joined by Anupam Kulkarni, CEO of Eura Systems Private Limited, a visionary leader driving transformation at the intersection of design thinking, technology, and business strategy. His focus on agility, innovation, and human-centered solution has helped organizations turn ideas into meaningful impact. Let's dive in. The technological evaluation of the past decade.
In terms of the technology, obviously, what we are seeing is uh, if you take a span of 30 years, the technology has evolved drastically. And if you look at the inflection points, obviously, the internet came in during the 90s, became mainstream. Then the entire internet led businesses arrived. In early 2004-5, you had the social media burst, and in 2009-10, you had the entire evolution of mobile smartphones. Then 2012-15, you had the entire push of cloud, and from there, we are just seeing an exponential growth of technology till today, which is the AI. So, as per my experience and what we have observed is, if you look at the entire evolution of technology, the foundation and the basics have never changed. Okay, uh, when we are talking about technology advancements, what is changing is the way there is a technological evolution. It is adding an abstraction on top of what exists as a foundation. When we say what exists as a foundation, let's say Linux or Unix as a system, or the old age computers which used to sit on your desks, to a smaller version of a computer, to a smaller version of a laptop, from there to even a mobile phone and smartphone, and now a layer on top of it, which is the AI, which understands the context, the behavior, and the objective of the user, and also takes an actions on behalf of you. What is changing is there are abstraction layers which are getting added in the technology. The foundation has never changed. So one point which I would want to highlight for your platform to the students is, you need to work on your basics. You need to focus on the foundations. You need to understand the core concepts of technology when you are going to enter into this field. And when I say technology, it can be fundamentals of uh, network, it can be fundamentals of computer science, it can be fundamentals of IT, it can be fundamentals of applications, it can be fundamentals of coding, or so on. You need to understand all of this foundation and fundamentals.
The role of AI in future education.
This is a very interesting question, and I would like to answer this in two different ways. So, again, I will go down to the basics for all the students. What is happening is AI is taking a layer. So if you look at in the technology, you have data, then from there you extract information, and from there you have knowledge, and then ultimately you build your own wisdom. That's how any digital system is developed. With AI, what is happening is that AI is going into the range of uh, from information knowledge to wisdom. That's the area where AI is coming into picture. So what it means for the students is more fundamental things like understanding a problem, articulating a problem, reading more, thinking more. These are the core skills or capabilities which are becoming more powerful today. Even something like articulation. What I mean by articulation is, I may have a idea in my mind, okay, but when I am communicating or am I articulating it today, now for me it is like the way I explain an idea to you as a human. It is equally important for me to articulate that idea so that even a machine or an AI agent can also understand in the future. So hence my reading, my thinking, my articulation, these are the skills I have to focus more as a person who is going to enter into the industry as a student. Okay, that's one perspective. Now, how is AI going to create an inflection point for education, or where it is going to really transform? Is all of us will gradually have, let's say, an AI tutor colleague. Okay, and what I mean by that is, let's say there is an AI agent where I am trying to learn something. I am a student. Maybe I am in a college, or I am doing my graduation. And while I am learning certain detailed course, let's say computer science or mechanical engineering or commerce as a field, or arts as a field, while I'm learning the basic concepts there, the way a role of a guru or a teacher was in my life, maybe that's the level an AI agent can take for me. And that AI agent, an education tutor, is only specialized for me. So whatever I learn in a day or whatever I learn in a month on specific topic, let's say in arts, I go back and have a conversation with that agent. And that agent acts like my whiteboard, my teacher, who assists me. Okay, you know what, this concept, you understood it this way, but maybe this arts concept is this, or my experience is this. So that's a conversation. An AI agent will build with you, and it will also help you build your skills. Okay, that's another perspective. So we need to take an advantage of AI for helping to build our way of thinking, our way of communication, our way of articulation, and our way of understanding the solutions and systems to the depth. Okay, so I would urge students to start experimenting with some of the AI agents which are specifically for education, which are specifically on education platforms. If you feed in more information, more data about yourself, and ask them the question, it will also act like your own assisted tutor or even a teacher for you.
Design thinking and storytelling in career growth.
So when I'm looking at the students, if I am a student today, how would I look at the industry? So design thinking forms a very fundamental mindset and a methodology of looking at things from a divergent and a convergent point of view. So the divergent is basically what's possible. Even if an idea seems to be impossible today, you just try thinking all the creative ways of solving a problem. And then convergent thinking is a way of bringing it down to what's possible today. Okay, so that's fundamentals of design thinking. How it is important for students, if I am a student today, is point number one is in the future, I need to be a polyglot. And what I mean by that is, while I might be pursuing a degree, let's say commerce or engineering, I may also have to understand something very specific to, let's say, business, or let's say something like a supply chain. So I may have to understand multiple areas. I will have to be a polyglot, and I will have to have a very simplified way of articulating things so that a human and an agent can understand. Human and AI can understand what it requires. So when we look at design thinking, what it requires is, we need to build, as a student, we need to build our ability to observe a solution end to end, to visualize the problem end to end. What I mean by that is, let's say you are using a platform like Uber. Okay, when you're using a platform like Uber, when you're placing an order, you're booking a cab on Uber. The moment you book a cab on Uber, what all actions might be happening at the back end? So there's a message, there is an API call which might be going to the Uber driver's mobile app. So Uber driver might have a mobile app. There might be a record at the Uber's administration team, who might be understanding where this is a user who has requested a cab in this area, this is the driver who is accepting it, and so on. And then there is a transaction happening. So I should be able to visualize the end-to-end ecosystem, the end-to-end solution, because that will be the human power. All the micro interaction apps will be done by AI. So Design thinking gives us an ability to think divergent and then think convergent on this perspective. So, trying to understand what is the problem and what we are trying to solve. What are these bigger platforms trying to solve? What are the things happening at the back? If I try to apply design thinking to all these solutions which we are using in day-to-day life, that will help me to build my thought process as a student. So that's where I think design thinking is going to play a great role in helping you build your mindset. And you also touched upon the point about storytelling. So storytelling connects back to my initial thought, which I expressed, that reading, thinking, and articulation. Articulation is going to be very important. Articulation certainly also goes and touches the way you tell a story. What is the problem? Why does it exist? How are we solving it? If you solve this, what is the kind of impact we are going to create? So if you simplify the way we are articulating, you will automatically learn the way of communicating a story. So design thinking, storytelling are going to be very core skills, competences required for students in the future.
Early career guidance and the role of counsel Navy.
Perfect. So early career guidance is very important, especially in the age where we are today, which is there's an extreme competition, and now we don't just have competition from humans, but we also have competition from machines. So we need to be aware about how we are progressing in our career journey. And from that perspective, what I see is early career guidance helps you to understand your passion, helps you to understand what you are good at, what is your strength, basically, what you are good at, what is your weakness. And then if there is a delta, there is some weakness which can be converted into a strength by training or upskilling yourself. Okay, you also understand that as a gap. So point number one is you understand your passion and what you're good at, what you're bad at, and how you can improve yourself. That's first aspect. Point number two, in the career guidance, you also get an exposure to what kind of options you have after you complete your education, or if you take a certain stream, how it can pan out into certain kind of job profiles, and then ultimately building a career into that. And if you again connect back to your passion, as you said, you are in digital marketing, so you might be you might have observed certain marketing campaigns or something. You might be in awe of it. You might have a passion for it, and hence you chose that as a field, and gradually build your career into that. Similarly, if you connect back to your passion and look at your strength, and then see if I take certain streams, what are the options ultimately to build a career. You bring all of that together, you can actually very well plan your own career that way. So a platform like Counsel Navy definitely adds a value. Again, it is more about building your mindset, yourself, understanding who you are, what is your passion, and where all you can go if you choose certain career options, and then choose the ultimately a particular university and all those courses and options. But career guidance kind of a platform is very important in today's age, and I would like to again call out Counsel Navy is a right platform, and you're taking the right steps for the students. So yeah.
Message for student and parents.
Sure. So I think this is the most important question. Like, how should I choose? I see students, their parents in a dilemma that what is the path we should choose for our pupil, where they should go. Will there be demand in the future, right? In that career options. So maybe I will try to answer this in 3-4 points. So point number one is the foundations and the basics. Whatever area you choose, you need to be focusing on the foundations. You need to understand the basics. You may not be an expert, which is okay, but you need to understand. If you're choosing engineering, you need to understand core concepts of engineering. if you're going to choose commerce, you need to understand the core concepts of commerce and accounting, right? And so on. So focusing on the foundations is important. This is up to the students. They need to really take foundation course seriously. Second is you need to build your ability to observe. So I continuously spoke into during my session about observing think, the holistic thinking, design thinking, end-to-end solutions. A business is happening around me. How does it perform? What is it doing? What is the problem they are solving? Why does that problem exist? These are very fundamental first principle questions. So as a student, whichever course I am in, I need to understand the why of it. I need to understand what is happening around me within that field at least, and ask those why questions. Third, when you're building your career, one more point which is usually not looked upon initially, and when you understand it once you move into your career later, is you need to build relations with your alumni. So if you're joining a particular college, okay, or and a course, you have a lot of alumni who are available within your college, who are past students, who have graduated from your college, who have moved into the career ladder, and they are in certain good positions, certain advanced positions, right? So you need to build relations with them, connect with them, and try learning from them. What is that they are doing? What is happening around them in the system? How should I look at my career when I speak with them? Those are questions you should go meet, build relation, and ask them. One more thing which I would urge students to do early, start from first year, start from the initial days of the college itself, is try reaching out to maybe founders, startup founders, or people who are in leadership position, asking for help. Okay, and if you are asking for help, I've always observed that all of these leaders are good enough to open doors. They say, okay, you know what, I'll give you in half an hour. Let's have a conversation. What help you require? And ask them help. When I say ask them help, don't ask for a job. Don't ask for an internship. Ask them, what do they do? What is happening in the industry? How do you see maybe the likes of AI and things happening? Or I'm doing this kind of a course and I'm good at this. How would you guide me? So what happens with this is, first is you learn directly abstracted knowledge. You get the entire summarized knowledge from a very senior person. Second, you build a relation rapport with them. Third is, when you pass out of the college, you already have a network. Either it's of the alumni or it's about the leaders or founders from the startups. So you have a network which you can bank upon. You can go back to them again and again. And at that point in your career, it may also help you to define your career. It may also create you career opportunities. And finally, a last point which I would want to leave, which the students and the parents need to understand is, if I am going to I'm going to complete a particular degree, okay, and I'm good at so let's say I'm going to do a degree in, let's say I'm engineering as an example, because I come from engineering background. So I did a degree in engineering and I say, oh, I am good at, let's say, programming in Java, so I'm going to stick to that. That's a very strong no. When I say no, I'm only going to do this, I'm not going to do anything else. Being rigid in your mindset and especially during starting of the career is definitely not a good idea. You need to be like a sponge, because you need to absorb what is happening around you. So I'm good at Java. However, if you give me any other opportunity, I'm equally going to put in the same kind of an efforts and learn other language or learn other stream. And I'm going to pick that job and do it well so that I understand the fundamentals. So for the first 3 to 5 years of your career, you should be focusing on building your core strengths, core skills, people skills, everything possible. That is the fundamental. You need to spend time to groom yourself in the job for the first 3 to 5 years. Later you can focus, okay, I want to be specialized in this, I want to build my career in this direction. But first 5 years, which is a foundation, You have to be open. You shouldn't be rigid.